We focus on the heart of the GLP-1 community. Real people, real stories, and the fight for affordable access. By listening, you are supporting our advocacy efforts to make these life-changing medications accessible to everyone who needs them. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. Welcome to the GLP-1 Collective.
Welcome to the GLP-1 Collective podcast. My name is Amanda Bonello, and this podcast supports a charitable nonprofit dedicated to advocating for affordable access to GLP-1 medications, normalizing their use through community-driven storytelling, and empowering individuals through support groups and educational tools. Visit glp1collective.org for more information. Today we're interviewing KeriLeigh Parker-Mast. She is a type 2 diabetic and a cancer survivor with a new lease on life, who now gets to spend many more years with her grandbabies. She has a truly incredible story about resilience and survival. Prepare to be inspired. Well, I am so incredibly excited to have you. Thank you for signing up.
Yeah.
Yes, you're such a super active community member and so popular. Everybody loves you.
Oh, thank you.
Do I just call you Keri or do I call you KeriLeigh?
Keri's fine.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Keri, for joining us. Before I start hounding you with questions, do you want to just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was not in a good place 2 years ago. My health was not good. I was a very brittle diabetic. I am also a cancer survivor and an autoimmune patient. I was having a lot of health issues to the point where I felt like I had one foot in the grave. I was very large. I was about 266 pounds. My autoimmune disease was out of control. My inflammation was so bad that my husband would help me get out of bed in the mornings. I couldn't move. I was frozen in the mornings. I was using a walker to walk. This is embarrassing, but a lot of the times I couldn't make it to the bathroom in the mornings because it took so much work to get me out of bed. It was just a horrible time in my life. I couldn't get down on the floor and play with my only grandchild at the time. I couldn't hold her while standing up. I had to sit on the couch and have either my son bring her to me or my husband bring her to me. It was to the point where I had actually talked to a funeral home because I didn't want my children or my husband to have to go through that. And I thought that I was that close to passing. My doctor lectured me every time I saw her about my blood pressure, my cholesterol, my A1C, everything about my health. I got lectured on, and I was trying so hard. We had tried everything to bring my A1C down, and it was at 11.4 and climbing, and nothing was bringing it down. We had tried everything with my weight, and nothing was touching that. I had tried every diet. Couldn't exercise due to my autoimmune disease, and it just, nothing was working out for me. I thought I was doing good at hiding it from my children, but I found out later that my youngest son had even had a conversation with his wife that he had to figure out how to live without his mother because he knew that soon he was going to have to. And it broke my heart. Along came Mounjaro. And I went into Mounjaro with a very bad attitude. I thought it was going to be another failed treatment. I honestly didn't go into it with the right mindset. To be honest, I will tell you, I didn't think it was going to work. The 2.5, I lost nothing. The 5.0, I lost nothing. But at the time also, I did not know that it had the side effect of weight loss. I thought we were just using it for my A1C. And we had my A1C drawn at the end of the 5.0. And my blood work came back when I started the 7.5, and it was coming down. And that is when my mindset flipped. And I was like, maybe this is going to work. Maybe this is going to be the medication that might bring me out of being a brittle diabetic. And if I can get control of one of these, maybe something will change. In the middle of the 7.5, I also lost my food noise. And I didn't realize that I had food noise until I lost it. I didn't realize that not everybody thinks about food all the time. I thought that that was normal. When it shut off, I was like, what's missing? Something's missing up there. It's quiet. And I wasn't thinking about those Oreos in the cupboard. I wasn't thinking about, what can I eat next? I wasn't sitting down at a meal and wondering what's for dessert. I wasn't thinking about where I was going to get my next meal. Is there enough food for everybody? What's coming up for the next course? It was a miracle to have a quiet brain, and I didn't know what that was. And then the weight started coming off. And I was like, is my cancer back? Was my first thought. And I went to the doctor and she smiled and she said, actually, it's a side effect, but I didn't want to get your hopes up because I didn't know if it would work for you. Because I had even been on Ozempic and lost nothing. So semaglutide was not the medication for me. Tirzepatide or Mounjaro is the medication for me. I was ecstatic. The inflammation started to come down. My joints started to move easier. The weight started to come off. It took a little bit of time. We titrated up pretty quickly to get my A1C down, but I can say that my A1C is now 5.2 from 11.4. My cholesterol used to be 300 medicated, and now it is 137 unmedicated. Well, it's medicated with Mounjaro. I'm not on cholesterol meds anymore. My blood pressure used to be through the roof, medicated, and now it's normal, unmedicated. I've lost 86.4 pounds. My SED rate and CRP, which are inflammatory markers, have gone from through the roof to almost normal. They'll never be normal because of my ankylosing spondylitis. They'll never hit the normal range, and I'm okay with that. I can move my joints again. I can remember the first time that I saw my ankle bone. I do a lot of my doctor's visits on telehealth, even though she's only a couple blocks from me. It was just easier because I didn't have the movement. I wasn't able to get out of the house a lot. It was easier for me to do them telehealth. And I can remember when the first time I saw that ankle bone, I was maneuvering my ankle up to the iPad. And I was like, I have an ankle bone. I have an ankle bone. And I was in tears. And she cried with me on that visit. And she was like, of course you do, but it's so great that you can actually feel the bones in your body now. I am now the lowest weight that I have been since junior high school. I can remember in junior high when we all line up in the gym and you're getting the scoliosis check and the vision checks and everything. All of my friends were getting weighed and they were like 80, 90 pounds. I remember the nurse saying my weight and it was 180. And I swear it reverberated through the gym. And all the boys looked at me and all the girls looked at me. And all I could think is, why am I double the weight of all of my friends? I had no idea at that time, no idea that it was my health that was holding me back. I was a cheerleader. I was in volleyball. I was in track at that time. And I was still the biggest girl in school. They had to special order my outfits, my uniforms. It was just embarrassing. And then to grow up and be in the best health that I've been in in my 50s. I wish everybody could be on this medication that has any health issues with their metabolism, with PCOS, with fatty liver disease, with diabetes. It helps so much. And I get so frustrated when insurances interfere. People come into my lives and they're like, my insurance denied it. And I'm just in tears with them because I know the good that it's done for me. I just break down because I want everybody. If I could be Oprah and just be like, you get a GLP and you get a GLP and you get a GLP, I would in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, that was such a squirrel moment.
Perfect.
You could go on with
That
questions.
was so perfect. Oh my gosh. That is what I'm trying to do with the nonprofit. It's so far down the line, but we're working on it and we're doing the best we can for affordability because you're absolutely right. Everyone who needs it should have affordable access because of stories like yours. That is incredible. I'm so glad that I just muted and let you go because that was such an incredible story. It had the lows. You almost had me crying. It was very close. And then it had the highs.
Oh, I'll tell you, when Devin told me that, and he didn't tell me until after I started taking the medication, and he was like, Mom, just so you know, because my boys are such mama's boys. And they call me and text me several times a day. For him to say, I talked to Heidi and we had a long conversation. I didn't know how I was gonna live without you. And it made me break down. I was just like, Devin, why didn't you say something to me? I thought I had hidden it from you. And he was like, no, we could tell.
I mean, at that time, if they had told you, would you have even had an option? Right. Until we found GLP-1s, nothing worked. Like you said, we tried everything. So telling you,
Yeah,
I'm not sure that it would have done much good anyway.
I know. It probably would have
Yeah,
just
yeah.
tortured me anyway, but I thought I was hiding it from him. I just I didn't want them to know that I felt I was that close.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing it. It might help someone who's afraid of trying this medication. There are definitely people who need it, who are afraid because of doctors who don't have the education on them telling them that it's dangerous,
Oh,
much
yes.
less the general public, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work hard to normalize the use of this medication so people don't have to be afraid and they all have the right information. So thank you for helping us do that.
Absolutely.
Ironically, I was going to ask you a bunch of questions about your quality of life before and after. And you gave me the best answer before I even asked.
I know. Now I do proof of movement. I walk around the building before work every day. I do the infinity hoop. I love doing the infinity hoop. I have ankylosing spondylitis, which in layman's terms, it's considered bamboo spine. All of my spinous processes are lipped together, so I have very little flexion in my spine. It's painful and it's hard to move sometimes. And the infinity hoop, I can move as one unit and still get my cardiac going without hurting my back. So I love the infinity hoop. It's an exercise that I can do without hurting my back.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's so good that you found something that works for you. Your health and wellness journey, it really didn't even start until you had this medication, which is ironic because of so many people out there saying that when you take this medication, it's cheating because you don't have to work out, right?
Right. I started right away. I was doing bed movements or arm movements in bed when I first started because I couldn't do any exercises. And my doctor said she wanted me to start my body moving. And she said, whatever you can do. So Alan was helping with my legs and I was doing arm movements. I bought some wrist weights off of Amazon. All I could do was move my arms in bed when I started. And now I'm, like I said, walking around the building. I'm doing the infinity hoop. I walk on my own. My goal this year is to walk around my block. We don't have sidewalks around my block. Our road is kind of that packed gravel. So it makes me a little fearful of falling. I haven't walked around my block by myself. And that is my goal this summer, is to walk around my block by myself without falling.
You need to get a GoPro so that you can record it and we can walk with you.
Okay.
That would be great. That is wonderful that you have long-term goals for this. That's absolutely fantastic. So are you in maintenance right now?
No, I still have 20 pounds to go. I'm close. I'm close.
So what dose are you on now?
15. I have been on 15 since January of 23. So I've been
Wow.
on 15 a long time and it's still working for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I know so many people are worried about what happens when you hit the goal, when you get to 30. What happens when you get to 30 and there's no going up from there? But I haven't actually met a single person at 30 yet. I've met a lot of people in maintenance at 7.5. I just think that's incredible that you're still there. You've
Yeah.
got somewhere else to go if you need to, so that's good.
Yeah.
But amazing. And the food noise isn't bothering you at that dose?
No, no, not at all.
Wow. Awesome. That is so cool. Well, I'm assuming that everyone in your life, friends and family, were super supportive because they were able to see you go from your starting point to the ending point. So you never dealt with stigma from your friends and family, right?
Not a whole lot. My mother in law had some fears. She didn't know what I was on. And at one point, she said that her doctor wanted her on that skinny shot because she's also diabetic. And she was like, but I heard that it damages your kidneys, so I'm not going to take it. So I sat down with her and I said, well, I'm on that skinny shot. And that's not quite what it is. So I had to go into some education with her on it. And she was like, oh, that's what you take? One of those type of things. So it wasn't so much a stigma against me. It was just a stigma against the medication before she knew that's what I took. And it was that she heard that it hurts your kidneys. And I was like, no, no, no. Let's talk about this. That's not true.
I feel like that's where most of it comes from. I feel like in the general public, they don't understand that it's not a weight loss drug. It's a
Right.
medication that treats your imbalances, and weight loss is a byproduct, like your doctor did with you, not telling you until after you'd lost weight. That's amazing. I love that she did that.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Before her, did you ever have a experience with a doctor where you felt marginalized because of your weight? Did you ever have an experience like that?
Absolutely. I think every doctor before her, my rheumatologist, absolutely. They've told me from the beginning that if I would get weighed off, my pain wouldn't be as bad with my ankylosing, and they're wrong, just so you know. um, every doctor I think I've ever been to, before I was diagnosed with the ankylosing, I went to 3 different doctors, regular doctors, family doctors, that said that my pain was just because I was a big girl. And it took a 4th family practice doctor to finally listen to me that there's something wrong with my back. Something in my back hurts, and send me for other imaging where they found the lipping, and then they sent me to the rheumatologist.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible that you had to go through that. I know there's a lot of people who are still dealing with that. I'm on Reddit all the time and I see people saying, like, my doctor told me to stay away from this medication because you don't know what you're putting in your body or what it's going to do to you. What would you say to someone having an experience like that where they're feeling like they're being just kind of tossed aside because of their weight by their doctor?
Find a new doctor. Keep trying and find a new doctor. You can go to the ABOM website and find obesity specialists in your area. You can go to telehealths and find obesity specialists. A lot of people don't like going to the telehealths. I trust the telehealths because those obesity specialists can't physically be in every state that you are in, so they can get to more states and access more patients by doing telehealth. But if you want someone in your area, you go to the ABOM website and you find someone in your area. You find someone that is obesity specialized and that will listen to you.
And by ABOM,
it's the Association for Obesity Medicine, I know, is the last part. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's ABOM. I'm
okay,
sorry.
I'll cut that out.
Okay. I don't remember what it stands
I'm
for.
curious now. No, you're totally fine.
I could look it up quick.
Well, that's fantastic advice because I did not know that. That's something I'm trying to do.
You put your zip code in and it'll find you an obesity specialist.
Amazing. That is amazing. On our website, I'm trying to add telehealth providers and doctors and obesity specialists in people's areas on a physician locator map so that they can find doctors who are compassionate towards people who use GLP-1s and who are educated and, if we're lucky, also advocates.
Yes.
So it's wonderful that there is a place where you can go just to find obesity specialists because that's really bridging the gap.
Usually the obesity specialists and the ones that have been trained in obesity, they are advocates for GLPs usually.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's what I was going to say. It's the bridging the medium, right? Because they work specifically on obesity, so they know all about this stuff. And they understand how important it is.
We thought that it was going to be the endocrinologists that were going to be the specialists on them. Well, the endocrinologists are not turning out to be the specialists on these. They are being roadblocks just as bad as a lot of the family practice doctors. They are only focusing on how to treat diabetic patients. They are dosing them up like diabetic patients, and they're not caring about the obesity aspect of it. It's sad. I'm seeing it every day. I've got someone in my life right now that her endocrinologist will not let her go up to 15, even though she's having food noise, because he's like, your blood sugars are fine. But she's having food noise. It's like, if you're having food noise and you're not staying satiated, you need to go up in dose. And her endocrinologist said, absolutely not. It's like, you need to find a different doctor then.
And like you said, you don't even know that there is such a thing until you've experienced it yourself, it going away. That's when the light switch turns on and you're like, oh, there was a problem all along that went much deeper that I just didn't realize wasn't normal. 100%.
Exactly. Until it's quiet, a lot of people don't realize that they had food noise. Rosie O'Donnell said it best when she was in Jamie's room and talking to us. And she said she didn't think that she was abnormal when she was thinking about the cookie in the green room and everybody else was reading their lines. All she could think about was that cookie on the table. And she's like, I didn't think I was abnormal. I thought that was fine. She didn't realize it was food noise either.
No, that's incredible. You were in a live with Rosie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I know that she was on the Plus Sides podcast, but I didn't know that she's doing the rounds of the community. That's incredible.
Yeah, she'll pop into lives sometimes.
Wow. Oh, so cool. Yeah, she's been a really strong advocate, hasn't she? We're very lucky to have her voice. And if more celebrities came forward with their success and their experiences, it would send us leagues into the future for normalizing this medication because right now everyone still just thinks it's a weight loss drug.
Yeah.
Hollywood is not doing the best to help with that case.
No, they're not.
So, are you doing a live right now with us?
No, no.
Oh, I was going to say hi.
I go on live at 6 o'clock, so I'll go on right after this.
Well, do you want to do a plug? Do you want to tell us about your TikTok and what you're doing over there?
Sure. I always go live at 6 p.m. every night except for Fridays. And I like to talk about the symptoms and the side effects and try to help people through those. We like to address the side effects and make sure that people are not stopping the drugs, the medications because of the side effects. So we talk about how to mitigate them and how to get through them. And we talk a lot about the medications themselves. We talk about access. We talk about taking the medication, how to prepare your body for the medication, and how to address the side effects, and then life on the medications because life is hard. And it's hard once your body starts changing. You look in the mirror and it's like, who is that person that's looking back at me sometimes? So that's what we talk about on my lives. And if anyone wants to join us, we're live, like I said, every night at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Central, except for Fridays.
That's fantastic. I think that someone will probably listen to this and jump in on that because you seem like a super relatable person. And I know I've been in your lives listening and I just love you. I just
Thank
love you.
you.
You're so helpful for everyone. So thank you
We
for
have
what you
lots
do
of
for the
fun too.
community. Yeah, for sure. I just lost it. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I lost it for a second. I was like, there's something I was going to ask. Are you on brand name medication then, if it was prescribed to your doctor for diabetes?
I am on branded Manjaro. Throughout my journey, I have taken Zepbound when I couldn't find Manjaro, and I have taken Compound when I couldn't find either. So I have taken multiple different things, but I am on branded Manjaro, and that's what my doctor prefers me to be on, but she understands when I had to take, I think I took about 5 or 6 months of compounded.
Oh, wow. And that was because of a shortage?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm
Yes.
so lucky that I missed that time period. It sounds terrible. I know that a lot of people are still struggling to get their medication.
Yes.
It's supposed to have gotten better, but it sounds like it was just really bad back then.
Yeah. It was hard to find it.
Did you feel like there was any difference between compound and name brand?
Honestly, I had less fatigue on the compound
Was it like
than I do on the
mixed
name
with
brand.
B12 or was it just pure terzepatide?
It was just mixed with saline, but there must be something in the non-active ingredient that just makes me a little bit tired, and that's okay.
So you said that you talk about side effects in your lives. It sounds like you titrated up pretty quickly at first.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of side effects during that?
I had some nausea in the beginning and lots of constipation in the beginning before I found TikTok. Once I found TikTok and found that Nurse April was my OG and Chris Zen was his name and Sam, she was a redhead. They were my OGs. And then when they started to go off, I was like, oh, somebody has to fill that niche. So I started going on very awkwardly and filled the niche and tried to pass on the information, but they were my OGs and they got me through it once I found TikTok.
So you weren't on TikTok at the beginning of your journey.
No, not the very, very beginning.
Where did you get most of your information? Was that your doctor?
Yes. She's pretty informative and she's very willing to learn. She is a family practitioner, but she is very willing to learn. And I've even taken some things to her from TikTok, and she's like, oh, let me look into that. And she, like when I did the compounded, at first she was very, no, compounds are bad. And I said, this is what I'm going to be looking into. This is the pharmacy they're going to use. And she said, well, let me look into it. And I want you to take your first dose. She called me back and she said, okay, but I want you to take your first dose in the office to make sure everything goes okay. And she's kind of a helicopter doctor, but I love her for that.
Yeah, if we could all be so lucky.
She's just very open to things, and she okayed me taking compound even though I didn't need her okay. She did okay it and allowed me to take compound and put it in my chart that I was taking it and where I was getting it from, and that I had taken the first dose in her office and everything went well with no reactions. And
Wow. Okay, so if you were insured for the name brand, I'm assuming you were not insured for the compound. So for about 5 months, you were paying out of pocket.
I was.
And can I ask how much that cost?
It was about $350 a month, which isn't bad for compound, but it was still $350. I always tell people I was getting, oh, I have two Manjaros there. I was getting this one for zero. This one was $20 for my insurance, and the compound was $350.
Wow.
So my insurance even covered these two at different rates.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness.
Why do they charge more for Zepbound? It's almost like a fat bias.
Absolutely, it is. No, absolutely. Because,
It's the same medication and they charge more for Zepbound.
yes, yeah, and insurance companies cover Mounjaro for diabetes.
Grandbabies are important.
They're so important. Yes, absolutely. It's so great that you can hold your grandbabies now and sit on the floor with them and play with them.
Oh, I will tell you, they've had another one since then, and I feel like it's a second chance because
Oh,
now I can hold him and make a bottle. I can walk around with him, and Natalie is none the worse for the wear. She doesn't remember that I couldn't hold her and make a bottle. That's one of the things that I always wanted to hold my grandbaby, walk around with him, make a bottle, pick him up out of the crib, and I can do that with him. Natalie still loves the heck out of me. I mean, that was her calling. She's 4. She'll be 5 next week, and that was
oh,
her. We read bedtime stories every night, but she calls whenever she wants to and videos me.
that is so sweet. Oh my gosh. It's so good that she's still young, right? When she's going to get all of these experiences and memories with you. And you're right. I mean, she wouldn't remember when she was a baby.
Yeah,
So that's fantastic. I'm so glad you have that, like you said, second chance to play the role the way you wanted to play it.
the way I wanted it to be.
Okay, I was saying something before the call.
I'm sorry.
No, 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 you're totally fine. I think it was the price. Yes, the price.
The pricing.
Okay, so insurance companies, a lot of them don't cover, I put in quotations for anyone who can't see the video, weight loss drugs. And you're absolutely right. It is a fat bias,
Hmm.
100%, because they will cover medication, this same medication for diabetes.
Yes.
I'm finding that a lot of people don't know that Mounjaro is the same exact thing as Zepbound, relabeled for sales purposes. It doesn't matter. It's the same exact thing, but because it's for quote unquote weight loss, it's not covered. There is a new definition. Diabetes is a recognized disease. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that this new definition is out there. But it does seem like a lot of people still don't know or don't want to accept it.
Right. Obesity is a disease now. They've got the new FDA approval for sleep apnea, which I've been pushing a lot of people towards getting a test for sleep apnea, because if you can get that in your chart as soon as insurance companies start paying for that, hopefully Hopefully they can get Zep bound for that. But right now, insurance companies haven't caught up yet for that. It's still sad that you have to work the system to be able to get it covered, even though you have a disease. You have a metabolic disease.
And it's truly torture. Emotionally, physically, mentally. It is absolute torture. It's not taken seriously.
No, not at all.
My insurance won't cover it. And I did a prior authorization for every single GLP-1, and they would not cover it for weight loss. But I was borderline pre-diabetic with 2 diabetic parents, and they want me to have diabetes first. So I'm taking my health into my own hands, but I have to pay out of pocket for that. And compound might go away soon. So that's why we're doing what we do. People get to hear stories like yours, and hopefully it makes them feel more compassion and empathy for the human beings and stop thinking about them as moral failures. What's really interesting is that you said you were the heaviest girl in school in junior high.
Mhm.
Would you consider it a moral failing when you did all those sports in junior high and
No,
no matter what you did, you were still the heaviest girl in school?
no, not at all. I ate the same thing that those girls ate. I played harder, I thought. I did the same sports that they did. I did more sports than they did. It just made no sense to me. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't understand why I was the heaviest girl.
I had a similar experience when uh, these high school experiences just stay with us, don't they?
They do.
My gosh, the trauma. Everyone was doing pull ups. It was like a physical fitness evaluation. I could not do a pull up, and everyone else was doing them easily. And I just could not do it. And the kids were making fun of me, and it didn't matter. It hurt my soul, and I still remember it to this day. Like you said, I was doing swim team and gymnastics. Eventually, I did wrestling. It never mattered because when you have insulin resistance, it doesn't matter. Gosh, this is such a passionate conversation. I feel myself getting all fired up. Oh, man. Okay. So you haven't had any issues accessing the name brand medication then for how long?
I have been back on name brand about 4 months now again.
Yeah, I was wondering how, because I know some people are still having issues. So I was wondering if you were still having issues.
It's still been late here and there. I'm finding it. I try to call right at 21 days and have them order it, and there's been times where it's not there until my shot day, and I'm starting to panic. It's like, do I need to get compound again? What's going on here? It's scary because I have found in the past before I got on compound, 12.5, my sugars start to go down. 12.5 does not control my sugars. I should say my sugars start to go up. Sorry. If I try to space out my shots, if I miss a shot and try to go to 10 days, my sugars go up. My doctor and I have already talked about when I go on maintenance, my maintenance will be 15 at 7 days. And I will have to control my maintenance, my weight with food. We've already had this conversation. It scares the heck out of me not to have my 15 at 7 days because I know my sugars are going to go up. And I know that's hard on your organs. And then your A1C goes up. And then you could go into kidney failure. You can lose your legs to diabetic ulcers. You lose your eyes to macular degeneration. All those diabetic things start to go on in your system. And it's like, I know one time is not going to do it, but when it's over and over, it scares me. Every time that they're late or they tell me they didn't get it in today, I call at 21 days, I call and I start calling every day. Do you have Manjaro in? Do you have Manjaro in? Do you have Manjaro in? And every day that they tell me no, I start to panic a little bit more. and a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's like, do I need to call for compound? Do I need to call the quickest company that I'm going to be able to find? Do I need to spend that $350? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And my mind just starts going a million miles a minute, trying to navigate, do I need to get a compound? It goes through my mind, should I have one for backup? But compound is only good usually for about 90 days in the fridge. So then is it good to have it for backup? Not really. I don't know. It's an evil cycle that I feel like Eli Lilly is just playing with my panic attacks. And it just drives me crazy because they say it's not on shortage, but yet the pharmacy can't get it from the distributor. The distributor says they can't get it from the manufacturer, but yet it's not on shortage, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels like profits over patients' lives.
Yes.
I understand wanting to benefit from their hard work, right? They made this incredible miracle drug. All of these people need it, and they want all of the profits from it. And I totally get that. But when you put the profits over people's lives because they're not making enough and they don't want anyone to have the compound option, there are no options left. Insurance will not cover it. So it's just a web of access issues that are nearly impossible to navigate. I could not imagine these people who are driving for hours at a time to pharmacies so that they can get their medication. I've seen that on the news, and I'm just like, does this not tell you how important it is for these people to stay on their medication? What you said about working with your doctor to find out that if you don't take your dose in 7 days, then your symptoms start to get worse. It's on point because just the other day, there was a woman on TikTok saying that she was in maintenance and she's trying to space out her doses, and she tried to do 10 days and she started having arthritic issues again.
Mm-hmm.
Just 10 days. It's just a couple days shy of the regular dose, but the levels change in your body and your chronic conditions come back. And I think that's a fantastic testament to how it is working and what would happen if you stopped having access altogether. So, can you tell me what you would do and what you think would happen if this medication was no longer available anywhere at all ever again, shut down?
My health would probably go back to where it was 2 years ago. I wouldn't be able to move. My A1C would climb again. I would go back to diabetic ulcers in my feet, being at risk of losing my eyes to macular degeneration, my kidneys to renal failure, all of the diabetic complications that come with a high A1C, and being that much closer to the grave. And it's sad. I know they say it's not life-saving, but for me, it is. They keep saying it's not life-saving, it's just life-changing. That it's life, it's life-changing, it's life-altering. That it's supposedly not life-saving. But for me, it is life-saving. It is a life-saving medication. It's not insulin. I get that it's not insulin, but it has helped my health so much that it is life-saving to me. And that's all there is to it.
And just for clarity, with the exercises that you've been doing with the Infinity Hoop, and I'm sure that there have been some diet changes along with it, it's kind of, you don't even get a choice there. Your diet changes.
Yeah.
Your taste buds change, your diet changes. Do you think that that would make a difference at all without the medication?
No. First of all, I wouldn't be able to do the exercises again with the inflammation coming back. The exercises wouldn't be available. But even if I kept the diet changes, it just wouldn't make a difference. My A1C would still climb again.
The reason why I'm asking this is because this is a reality for so many people who got cut off from their insurance this year, who are afraid of compound medication, even for the people who have only been told horror stories or misinformation and are too afraid to try it. So, what would your message be to those people?
I tell people every day, this medication is life-saving, life-altering. Try it. You've got to try it. To the people that can't get it because their insurance cut them off, keep fighting, keep trying. Don't back down. Don't take no for an answer. Try every avenue. I have a friend that had 6 denials and she just kept sending them back in. She just kept doing her own appeals and sending them back in. She kept researching, sending them back in. And guess what? She finally got it. It took 6 tries, 6 tries. And I think it was like 7 months, but she finally got it. And I told her that's what the fight is for. You can't take no for an answer. Bug them, call them every day. Call them, write them, go into your work, ask your HR. I have resources in my link tree how to address your HR about getting these medications on your plan, because it's your employer, the plan that they choose. And they may not even realize that they have excluded the weight loss medications. A lot of them pick the plans based on pricing, and they don't realize that they've excluded these medications. So talk to your HR, talk to whoever picks the insurance for your companies. Don't stop fighting, keep fighting. And that's what you've got to do for these medications, because they are worth it. They are definitely worth it.
That's a really good message. I love that. That is such a good note to end off on. Don't stop fighting. Would you mind if I added your educational resources for like how to talk to HR to our website?
Yeah, that's fine. I got them from Eli Lilly, actually, and Novo Nordisk.
I will do that then. Awesome. Oh my gosh. So I didn't know that they had those resources up on their website.
Yes, they are actually, they're letters on how to talk to your HR, and they have stats on how healthier people perform better, and the different stats on sick calls and all of that good stuff. They have all kinds of resources on both of their websites, and I've linked them both in my link tree. They're all the way down.
Keri, you're amazing. The community is so lucky to have you, and I am so lucky to have you. What a good story.
Good.
We're going to have people crying. I think you might change a lot of lives with your story, and I think you probably already have.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you for having me.